The Supreme Court itself, in cases like this, has not clothed itself in glory. And I'll give you instances.
Okay.
So, first instance.
Before you start, note that I think the Supreme Court has a spokesperson. All right? And so, if I disagree with you, it will be my perspective. I will not speak on behalf of the Supreme Court. So, go ahead.
First case. The suit challenging the president's decision on Dome level.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Yes.
Professor Azan, he filed a suit. He waited for 1 year, challenging the constitutionality of the president's decision on Dome level as Auditor General.
Yes.
They sacked him.
Yes.
He waited for about 11 months. There was no movement. 11 months. And he withdrew the case. The CSOs continued with their matter. It took the Supreme Court 3 years. 3 years to make a simple pronouncement on whether the decision by the president with respect to Dome level was constitutional or not. It took them 3 years. By the time they made a decision, Dome level by age had already,
Randy, I will not say it's a simple
I'm not done. No, please. I'm not
but I
done.
will not say it's a simple decision. It's not a simple decision.
So you're telling me that to determine whether the president's action in asking the man to go home was constitutional or not, it takes 3 years to determine that.
No, but I'm saying the word simple to make a simple decision.
I'm saying simple within the context of 3 years.
Good.
That's what I mean.
Okay.
So unless you're telling me that...
No, thanks for clarifying it. But the way it came out as if to make a simple decision, as if it is so simple, their job. It is not that simple.
No, I'm just telling you that an issue of whether the president's decision was constitutional or not took the Supreme Court 3 years. They made that pronouncement at a time when it was virtually moot.
It was moot, yeah. Continue.
If you take the issue of the powers that the president exercised when COVID came, those emergency, somebody went to court. Mm-hmm. There were people who were affected, went to court challenging the constitutionality of that issue. There were people who were affected by the exercise of that power by the president. Some jail, some fines, some whatever. Now, the Supreme Court decided to pronounce on the matter when even the exercise of that thing and COVID and everything elapsed. And this was something that was done at a time. People believed that, look, this was unconstitutional. Determine this matter. They determined the matter at the time when it was even moot. At the time when it was moot. There are 2 or 3 other examples. I've written all of those things down that I can give you. So when I say that the Supreme Court itself, in some of these things, has not clothed itself in glory. Now, the third example. You remember the LGBTQ I1?
Yes.
Okay. There was a substantive matter. And then you had the issue of the interlocutory.
Judge.
Yes. When the issue of the decision on the interlocutory came up, and everybody went to court, expecting the decision, like what we got from the Supreme Court on Friday. Mm-hmm. The CJ said that she had decided that they would defer that decision to the substantive matter because they are related.
Yes.
So the decision of whether the injunction on Parliament and others will be determined or not, after all the arguments and everything, she said no. She won't do it, but they will wait for this other matter. In this same case, this current issue that we are talking about, in that case, we do not see the need to put the two together. But we've decided that, let's give a separate decision on it. It gives disturbing signals.
No.
Why no?
Because, you see, the Supreme Court has to determine what it deems as urgency.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Which is different from what is important.
What do you mean by what you're saying?
What is important? All these matters you're talking about is important to the extent that it set precedents. The sacking of the Auditor General, whether the right means has been adopted.
The fact that if you were
Randy,
if you were level,
no, you are doing the same thing that you was doing.
No, Kingsley, if you were level and you have 2 years to go on retirement,
yes,
and the president sacks you from your job, and there's a court action, yes, asking the court to intervene, yes, with respect to the president's decision as is unconstitutional. And Kingsley, please address what I'm saying. And the court decides that whether it is of urgency or importance, it will wait until your retirement has lapsed before it pronounces on the matter. How would you feel?
That you are bringing my feeling into this discussion.
No, I'm saying if you were the party in the matter, how would you feel?
My feeling to this discussion. That's not how it is done.
I said if you were party in the matter, how would you feel?
But
will you believe that justice has been done?
You want me to bring my passion, my feeling, whether it's properly arrived at or not. It will result in someone standing on some platform somewhere, daring the CJ on a political platform. And you think that was right? We shouldn't talk
what has this got to do with political
because
platform?
Because you say, how would you feel? You're talking about emotions.
Because you were speaking about Kingsley.
Let's discuss this matter.
Kingsley,
yes.
You were speaking about importance and urgency.
Precisely.
And I'm giving you an example.
Precisely. And I'm saying that
my rights are being trampled upon.
Precisely.
The Supreme Court takes 3 years to determine the urgency or importance
of that decision that came out. Did he lose any of his entitlements, his salary, anything? Did he lose that?
He lost his job.
No. The Supreme Court said that he's not. That thing was wrong. So he's entitled to everything.
He's entitled to what?
The job that he was doing.
Yes.
What is he being? What is remuneration?
Are you saying that the fact that if he were paid a remuneration,
yes,
that means that he's not lost anything?
That's the point I'm making. That instead of us looking at how the Supreme Court work, you are bringing in the passion and who will be happy if this thing happens to the person? Who? Nobody. But that is not how you judge how the Supreme Court should. The Supreme Court should not factor your emotions, however it is, and my emotions, and how will we resolve this matter?
What is emotion about this?
But you are saying how would you feel? You're asking me how I will feel.
Yes, how you feel.
And
if your rights are trampled upon.
That is not the measure of how the Supreme Court should be acting.
So what should be the measure?
And then that's why you didn't allow me to learn.
So what should be the measure?
You see,
yes,
the Supreme Court has to determine what is urgent. All matters before Supreme Court are important because they create precedents.
Yes.
So the next person coming knows that you can't go this way.
Not just precedent. It must cure. It must cure a wrong.
Randy, now you're presenting him together with me.
No, I am shocked that
you're adding more to my words without me even landing.
Please go on. Please go on.
Randy.
No, please go on.
Randy.
No, please go on. I'm shocked. To be honest, I'm shocked that
but allow me to. No, you cannot be shocked. No, you cannot be shocked. You see, the Supreme Court has to determine what is urgent.
Okay.
Which is different from what is important.
Okay.
So if the Supreme Court determines that this is and if the application itself, most of the matters you've talked about are substantive matters. This is an interim application to solve an issue. They are two different things.
So the LGBTQ one.
Yes.
Was that not an interim application?
To do what?
To solve an issue, when to deal with the impasse between the executive and the legislature. When the Supreme Court decided that it will not give any ruling on the interim application, but they will rather wait.
Why do you think the Supreme Court did that?
They gave their reasons.
Why? Yeah, but the reasons are germane, aren't they?
How germane are they?
They are germane because you just said that to solve a problem.
Yes.
So if that solves a problem...
Which problem did it solve?
What problem did it solve? When they refuse to grant...
Energy, you are not the arbiter here.
Oh, no. It's not the monologue.
You are not the arbiter here.
It's supposed to be...
When it was your turn...
No. I mean,
when it was
you have even gone beyond your turn.
What? You see, now you are determining...
Now you have gone beyond your turn. But you
what is my turn?
But you say...
No, let him finish. Please let him finish.
Randy.
No, please, let's let him finish. Kingsley, please finish.
So, the Supreme Court has jurisdiction to determine this. My learned, very, very honorable learned senior, if you look at the law report and some of the things these guys who are now sitting in Parliament have done, the Speaker, superb lawyer, Honorable, he used to be the Minister of Interior, what's his name again? Ambrose Derry, those people. Before you now have Jogate and Co. Superb lawyers. They know the law. It is my respectful and humble prayer. Please, Mr. Speaker, respect what the Supreme Court has said. They are doing their jobs. Let us not keep on bastardizing the Supreme Court for what we perceive as them not doing a good job. I agree with you. If I bring my matter to court and it's taking 3 years to determine, it's not a good thing. I agree with you on that. It doesn't mean that that rather which we are not happy with should not be the precedent upon which every other thing to be done. No. If the Supreme Court has acted timeously in this matter, it is proper because we already know that 3 months to the term to the election, you can't even hold an election, a by-election.